Welcome to the Kentucky Alternate Assessment, Career Work Experience Certification Administration Guide, Training for School Year 2025-26. The Career Work Experience Certification, referred to as the CWEC, is one of four components of the Kentucky Alternate Assessment. The CWEC is a measure of career readiness within the Post-Secondary Readiness Indicator of Kentucky's accountability system. This module will walk you through specific portions, the Career Work Experience Certification Administration Guide. Most slides will reference specific pages. Please print a hard copy or access an electronic version from the Kentucky Department of Education, KDE, or the Kentucky Alternate Assessment Program, KAAP, Online Training System, OTS, before continuing this training. There are two ways for students to demonstrate post-secondary readiness within Kentucky's accountability system. Students must earn a high school diploma or be classified as a grade 12 non-graduate and meet the requirements of one type of readiness, academic readiness or career readiness. In alignment with the regular assessment, the achievement of career readiness is not mandatory. The accountability system allows for meeting the requirements of academic readiness or career readiness. However, school districts must provide students opportunity and access to work toward career readiness. This includes students participating in the alternative high school course of study. CWEC process. Page 4. The attainment of the CWEC is a process, not an assessment. The CWEC process includes the three general phases of career exploration, which is recommended, student-focused planning, and instruction in an experiential curriculum. Students receive instruction, including work-based learning opportunities in the classroom, school, community, and at work sites. The process utilizes community-based school business partnerships. School business partnerships assist in providing the work-based learning experiences to students. Content-assessed PP 4-5. During the CWEC process, students are given the opportunity to practice, maintain, and generalize practical knowledge and skills linked to the employability and foundational academic standards alternate assessment and corresponding progressions. These standards are typically referred to as the EFASAA or EFAS and are the same standards assessed by the Employability Skills Attainment Record, the ESAR. The standards are included in Appendix A of the CWEC Administration Guide. The standards align with a subset of the Career and Technical Education, CTE, Pathway Standards documents and standards assessed by the Career and Technical Education End of Program, CTEEOP, Assessment for Articulated Credit. There are 40 standards that address the concepts and skills listed on pages 4 to 5. CWEC process at high school grade 9 and up, PP 5 to 6. The implementation of the CWEC process begins at the high school level. Student-focused planning at grade 9 and beyond includes the continuation of annual transition planning. This includes the development of the multi-year course of study in accordance with the Kentucky Uniform Academic Course Code lists. For students working toward career readiness status within the Post-Secondary Readiness Indicator of Kentucky's accountability system, the multi-year course of study includes the 4 courses specific to the attainment of the CWEC. The courses are completed in prerequisite order. Work-based learning options are aligned with each course and provided in accordance with students' least restrictive environment, LRE. CWEC process at high school grade 9 and up, PP 5 to 6 student-focused planning continued. Each district determines, on an individual student basis, if transition planning alone will provide the information needed to determine transition services. Admission and release committees, ARCs, may need to hone their problem-solving skills within the basic transition planning process. For the majority of students, transition planning alone, if implemented with fidelity, meets student needs. See Appendix C for more information about transition planning and services. For more involved students, a specific formal model of person-centered planning or components of a specific model may be required. The district selects the formal process to use. Conduct person-centered planning, as needed. CWEC process at high school grade 9 and up, page 5 to 6. Discuss the anticipated year of graduation or exit with the student and parents during student-focused planning. The anticipated exit year is required in order to complete a compliant course of study. 707 KAR 1, 002, Section 1, 19. This is key to planning for the CWEC. The anticipated year of exit with a graduation code affects when a student begins coursework leading to the CWEC. Within the CWEC process at the high school level, and in addition to student-focused planning, school districts should develop post-secondary goals. Identify students for Office of Vocational Rehabilitation, OVR services, pre-employment transition services or targeted transition services, and identify students for work-based learning programs in accordance with program guidelines. Finally, provide the summary of performance to the student upon year of exit. CWEC courses, page point 7. The 4 specific courses leading to the attainment of the CWEC are included within the high school special education course standards documents. These elective courses must be completed in prerequisite order. 1. Developing career options. 2. Developing leadership skills. 3. Experience in workplace principles. 4. Individualized career work experience. 1 year is the recommended length for each course, or in alignment with the length requirement for CTE courses. The courses may be repeated, particularly for students enrolled in grade 14. Coursework leading to CWEC, page point 7. The 4 specific elective courses leading to the attainment of the CWEC are included within the high school special education course standards documents. To review the specific EFASAA standards aligned to each course, refer to the Kentucky Department of Education course standards in the Searchable State Course Codes Database, SSCCD, then select an academic year to view the course list. Refer to the standards link in the details of the course. Page 7 of the Administration Guide begins describing the courses leading to the CWEC. Developing Career Options is the first course and can be completed in grades 9 through 14. The course focuses on orientation to careers. Course content includes orientation to the 16 career clusters, employability skills, self-management, and work ethics. Opportunities are provided within the course for the development of problem-solving, decision-making, and reasoning through school and work-based learning experience. The CWEC courses are aligned to the Kentucky Academic Standards, KAS, and the Employability and Foundational Academic Standards Alternate Assessment, EFASDA. Refer to the CWEC Administration Guide, Appendix A, for a complete list of EFASDA standards. All materials and activities presented are differentiated to meet individual student needs. You may visit the Developing Career Options course standards link to review the specific EFASAA standards aligned to the course. The KDE Career and Technical Education Resources webpage provides a link to learn more about the 16 career clusters. Developing Career Options is the prerequisite course for developing leadership skills. The next course is Developing Leadership Skills and is offered at multiple grades, 9 through 14. This course is designed to assist students with developing skills needed to be successful leaders and responsible members of society. Students will develop personal attributes and social skills. Emphasis is placed on interpersonal skills, team building, communication, personal development, and leadership. This course includes opportunities for students to apply their knowledge. Special focus is given to the Kentucky Alternate Assessment, aligned to the Kentucky Academic Standards, KAS, and the EFASAA. All materials and activities presented are differentiated to meet individual student needs. This course may apply to any of the career clusters and should be aligned to the individual student's post-secondary goals. The career clusters are included on the following slide. Visit the Developing Leadership Skills webpage to review the specific EFAS standards aligned to the course. The 16 career clusters included in the course are listed on the slide and contained in the course description on pages 7 to 8. Links to learn more about the 16 career clusters are also included. Page 8 of the Administration Guide also contains the Experience in Workplace Principles course description. This is the 3rd course offered and may be taken in grades 9 through 14. Experience in Workplace Principles examines the skills needed to adapt to changing demands and expectations. The course includes, but is not limited to, problem-solving, teamwork, time management, and self-management skills. Job seeking and job retention skills are taught through the development of resumes and job search materials. This course is aligned to the KAS and EFASAA. All materials and activities presented are differentiated to meet individual student needs. Visit the Experience in Workplace Principles course standards link to review the specific EFASAA standards aligned to the course. Individualized career work experience is provided to students in grades 11 through 14 and is described on pages 8 to 9. This course focuses on work experience for students. The course includes a related class and work-based learning in the local community. This course is aligned to the KAS and EFASAA. All materials and activities presented are differentiated to meet individual student needs. Visit the Individualized Career Work Experience webpage to review the specific EFAS standards aligned to the course. Work-based learning options, page 9. Work-based learning options are embedded in each individual course and provide a variety of experiences for students. This affords students opportunities to practice, maintain, and generalize knowledge and skills related to the EFAS in the classroom, school, community, and work-based settings. The work-based learning options were selected from Kentucky's Work-Based Learning Manual and include cooperative education, entrepreneurship, internship, paid and unpaid, mentoring, school-based enterprise, shadowing, and service learning. All WBL should adhere to the Kentucky Work-Based Learning Manual and to the requirements and prerequisites of 705 KAR 4041. All definitions are included in the CWEC Administration Guide glossary. The work-based learning is provided in alignment with the course descriptions. Districts determine which options to include in each course when developing each course plan. Some options are provided in the school or community setting, e.g., school-based enterprise or service learning. Other options are provided in the community at work sites, such as shadowing, mentoring, and internships. The work-based learning options linked to the courses may vary for individual students enrolled. This is based on individual student post-secondary goals, IEP present levels, individualization of the course of study, and needs related to the LRE. The guidance for IEP development includes more information on how to document WBL in a student's IEP. Work-based learning programs, such as the CWTP, Project Search, or district-developed programs, can serve as a vehicle for providing some WBL options, particularly those at work sites. Minimum hours for work-based learning, PP 9 to 10. A minimum of 40 hours of WBL is recommended for each CWEC course. Abiding by the minimum hours per course assures statewide fidelity of the CWEC. Best practice is to provide WBL opportunities throughout the year, such as a minimum of 20 hours per semester or 40 hours per year-long course. For trimesters, the minimum of 40 hours per year may be divided into thirds, 13 to 14 hours per trimester. Worksite definition, page 10. Some work-based learning will be conducted at a worksite. A worksite is defined as a non-school, integrated, competitive environment where the students engage in work-based learning options customized and aligned to their post-secondary goals, including entrepreneurship, mentoring, shadowing, internship, or cooperative education. For careers found only in educational settings, the placement should be outside the student's school of attendance. The rationale supporting the worksite definition is provided in Appendix D of the Administration Guide. Supplemental Guidance for Work-Based Learning, WBL for Career Work Experience Certification, CWEC, page 10. Additional flexibility for potential virtual options is permitted to complete the minimum CWEC WBL in accordance with the Supplemental Guidance for Work-Based Learning, WBL for Career Work Experience Certification, CWEC, if face-to-face in-person WBL is not possible. Refer to Appendix E for details of potential virtual CWEC WBL options. Best practice is for students to complete the CWEC courses and the recommended minimum number of WBL hours in a face-to-face/in-person, non-school integrated competitive work environment aligned to the individual student's post-secondary goals. Documentation of the CWEC process is stored in the Career Ready Alternate Assessment folder, referred to as the CRAAF. This ensures security of the materials. The CRAAF is also used to document the results and supporting evidence for the ESAR. Maintain records in accordance with the district's policies regarding records retention schedule. A certified staff member is responsible for maintaining the CRAAF. This may be the same certified person that serves as the qualified CWEC ESAR administrator, or it may be another certified district representative. Qualified CWEC administrator, QCA, is responsible to complete the CWEC training and the qualification quiz in the KAAP online training system. The CWEC quiz will close on December 22, 2025. Print and file the online CWEC certificate in the CRAAF after passing the quiz. Provide a copy to the Building Assessment Coordinator BAC or District Assessment Coordinator DAC. File the Student Information page in the CRAAF and file the CWEC documentation in the CRAAF by the end of each school year. Report status of student completion of the CWEC to the Kentucky Department of Education, KDE. CRAAF components, page 11. CRAAF components include, in the following order: student information, administrator trainings and documentation, qualification quiz certifications, employability skills attainment record, and the career work experience certification. The Employability Skills Attainment Record, ESAR Administration Guide, provides more information about the ESAR section. CRAAF, Section 1, page 11. The Student Information Page form is stored in the Student Information section. Form components include student name, school, district, grade, state student identification number, SSID, district enrollment date if the student is new to the district, date participation in the alternate assessment was determined, accommodations listed in the current IEP for the student, and the name and signature of the supervising teacher. A hyperlink to the KDE Alternate Assessment and Accountability folder webpage, where the Student Information page can be found, is provided on page 11 of the Administration Guide. There are two versions of the CRAAF, one electronic version and the other is a form that is downloadable to save. Note: maintain records in accordance with the district's policies regarding records retention schedule. CRAAF Section 2, page 11. The administrator trainings and documentation is stored in the second component of the CRAAF, referred to P11. Everyone that participates in administering state testing must have 703 KAR 5080 Administration Code for Kentucky's Educational Assessment Program training. Anyone that provides accommodations during state testing must also have inclusion of special populations in the state-required assessment and accountability programs 703 KAR 5070 training. Refer to the KDE Office of Assessment and Accountability Assessment Regulations training and forms web pages for trainings and training signature sheets. The administrator trainings and documentation is stored in the second component of the CRAAF, continued refer to P11. A signed non-disclosure form for state assessments from the QCA is not required in the CRAAF for the CWEC process. However, the signed non-disclosure form for state assessments form is required for the administration of the Employability Skills Attainment Record, ESAR. CRAAF Section 3, page 12. The Qualifying Quiz Certifications component of CRAAF houses the CWEC certificate, documenting the QCA successfully completed the qualification quiz. The CWEC certificate is printed from the KAAP Online Training System, OTS. A copy is placed in the CRAAF, and one copy is provided to the BAC or DAC. CRAAF, Section 5, page 12 to 13. The fifth component of the CRAAF houses the documentation for the CWEC, which can include multiple sections depending on the number of years for initial course completion. If the student enrolls in the first CWEC course at grade 9, the folder section begins that year. If not, the folder section begins in grade 10 or later. A section is added for each year of high school in which the student is initially completing a CWEC course. If the student exits with a graduation code at the completion of grade 12, the CWEC documentation ends at that grade level. If the student initially completes a CWEC course in grade 14, a section will be added for each grade 14 year until the student completes the courses or exits with a graduation code. Remember, the 4 courses must be initially completed in prerequisite order. Each CWEC grade level section within the CRAAF contains the multi-year course of study, including the courses leading to the CWEC, the transition service needs and post-secondary goal sections of the IEP, documentation of work-based learning hours, and anecdotal notes which are supporting notes regarding specific student information related to attainment of the CWEC. Folder Audit, page 13. Career Readiness is reported by KDE's Office of Career and Technical Education, OCTE. Therefore, personnel from OCTE will audit CRAAFs during monitoring or review visits for career and technical education programs. During the folder audit, the district will be asked to provide a copy of the student transcript generated from Infinite Campus. A comparison between the transcript and the multi-year course of study will substantiate that the CWEC courses planned were completed. At the local level, DACs may choose to monitor the CRAAF to review programming and assessment compliance. This is a district-level decision. Reporting to KDE, page .13. The QCA reports the status of students' attainment of the CWEC to the KDE, in accordance with directions received through the alternate assessment email distribution list and DAC emails. The QCA indicates either yes, the student completed the CWEC coursework, or no, the student did not complete the CWEC. The status is recorded in the Career Ready Database, CRD. The CRD is housed on the KAAP Online Training System, OTS. Additional information is requested with the completion status of CWEC attainment. In the Career Ready Database, CRD, when the QCA indicates yes, Y, the student completed the CWEC coursework, then the type of CWEC WBLIE, face-to-face/in-person, virtual, a combination of face-to-face, in-person, and virtual, and the total number of CWEC WBL hours completed by type will be required. May 29, 2026, is the last day to enter CWEC status in CRD. CRD Student Roster, page 13 to 14. Grade 12 and Grade 14 students identified to be working towards career readiness in an alternative high school course of study or alternate assessment with completion of at least one CWEC course are entered in the CRD by KAAP personnel. Note: a student working towards career readiness will not be registered in the CRD if KDE has received reporting from prior years that the student has previously completed the CWEC and previously met a benchmark on the ESAR. If a student is not showing in the CRD, verify in the CRAAF and/or Infinite Campus IC whether the student has already completed CWEC and met a benchmark on ESAR. A grade 11 student will not automatically be registered in the CRD, but may be manually entered for reporting purposes during the current school year if the student is working towards career readiness and has completed at least 2 CWEC courses. The process for registering a grade 11 student or an eligible student that was not previously automatically loaded in the system follows. The DAC, DOC, or district level administrator registers the student in the database. Once the student is registered in the CRD, the DAC, DOS, or district-level administrator must then contact Cherie Craig, OCTE, at cherie.craig@education.ky.gov, or Darrell Mattingly, Career Ready Database System Administrator at darrell.mattingly@uky.edu to request the student record be opened. For statewide fidelity of the CWEC process, school districts should provide WBL experiences following the definitions and guidance provided in the KDECTE Work-Based Learning Manual. A minimum of 40 hours of WBL is recommended for each CWEC course. Abiding by the minimum hours per course assures statewide fidelity of the CWEC. Best practice is to provide WBL opportunities throughout the year, such as a minimum of 20 hours per semester or 40 hours per year-long course. For trimesters, the minimum of 40 hours per year may be divided into thirds, 13 to 14 hours per trimester. For statewide fidelity of the CWEC process, school districts should provide instruction for skills in employability and foundational academic standards alternate assessment during WBL to give opportunities for generalization of the skills in community and work environments. Provide specially designed instruction, SDI, in accordance with individual student IEPs during WBL experiences. Develop CWEC courses to meet the course descriptions within the high school special education course standards documents. Align district programs with the Kentucky taxonomy for transition programming. For statewide fidelity of the CWEC process, school districts should utilize evidence-based practices in school, community, and work settings for both instructional and transition practices. Incorporate universal design for learning, UDL practices within instruction. Utilize interagency collaboration for work-based learning opportunities. Include person-centered planning when needed, with district choice of specific planning methods. Begin ILP process at grade 6. You may complete the CWEC qualification quiz in the KAAP Online Training System, OTS. The CWEC qualification quiz will close on December 22, 2025. Review the CWEC administration guide, if needed, before accessing the quiz. You have 3 opportunities to pass the quiz. If you did not pass the quiz, you missed a total of 10 or more questions, or at least 1 mandatory question was answered incorrectly. Upon the 3rd unsuccessful attempt, you will be locked out of the OTS and must notify your DIAC, DOS, or district-level administrator for assistance. If you become locked out of the quiz, please review the training materials again before retesting. 2025-26 Career Work Experience Certification, CWEC, Support Contacts. Tina Broglie, Work-Based Learning, WBL Coordinator, KDE Office of Career and Technical Education, OCTE, 502-564-4286, for assistance with work-based learning. Bill Bates, Exceptional Child Educational Consultant for CTE, KDE, Office of Special Education and Early Learning, OSEEL, at 502-564-2106. Cherie Craig, IT Business Analyst Senior, KDE Office of Career and Technical Education, OCTE, 502-56-44286, for assistance with CWEC and ESAR, Administration Guides and Alternate Career Readiness. Daryl Mattingly, Career Ready Database System Administrator, Kentucky Alternate Assessment Program, KAAP, for assistance with the Career Readiness Database, CRD, for CWEC and ESAR data reporting. Alternate Career Readiness for Post-Secondary Readiness Indicator. Alternate Career Readiness Options Overview. Options for career readiness for alternative high school diploma course of study or alternate assessment students include successfully completing one of the following: career work experience completion, CWEC, and meeting benchmark on the Employability Skills Attainment Record, ESAR, or, pursuant to KRS 158.6455, additional WBL post-secondary readiness indicator career readiness options are available. These include 300 or more hours of a KBE-approved cooperative education or internship associated with a course code, CWEC course codes for alternate, or KBE-approved application for work experiences not associated with a co-op or internship course code and have completed 300 on-the-job hours with an employer partner and the school or district aided with the student's work experience. Important note: the 300 hours may be accumulated over the student's high school career grades 9 to 12 and 14. All co-ops and internships should adhere to the Kentucky Work-Based Learning Manual and to the requirements and prerequisites of 705 KAR 4041. Refer to the following resources for more information. Working with Exceptional Children in CTE, Accountability and Post-Secondary Readiness in CTE. Frequently Asked Questions, FAQ, Co-ops and Internships for State Accountability Document. Data Entry, Career Readiness Record and Career Ready Database. Tracking 300 or more hours of KBE-approved co-op or internship course code. The CWEC courses are available in Infinite Campus, IC, to track co-op and internship hours associated with a course. Schools and districts should identify a staff member to be responsible for reporting student co-op and internship data in the Career Readiness Record tab in Infinite Campus, IC. Instructions on how to enter work-based learning, WBL records for students, is available on the KDE KSIS Data Standards webpage and can be found in the Career Readiness Work-Based Learning Data Standard document. Submit CWEC and ESAR data to KDE, the Career Ready Database, CRD, housed on the Kentucky Alternate Assessment Program's KAAP Online Training System, OTS, is utilized to enter the CWEC status and ESAR score to KDE. September 5th, CWEC Qualification Quiz opens. October 10th, ESAR Qualification Quiz opens. Kentucky Alternate Assessment Program Calendar. For questions regarding CWEC and ESAR, please reach out to Cherie Craig in the Office of Career and Technical Education. For Career Readiness Record questions, please contact Esty Stith in the Office of Career and Technical Education. This concludes the CWEC training module and alternate career readiness options overview.